This is one of the major factors why your businesses are not growing or why your farm is not growing. Why? Because when you started your farm, you did not have a well-articulated business plan. You need business plan in whatever you are going to do. I don't know, whatever business you want to do, even if it's not poultry or farming, but if you want to go maybe in boutique, whatever, wholesale, you need to have what we call a well-articulated business plan. And that's why most of your businesses are on what we call standard growth. Why? Because you started your business without a business plan. So how will you be able to move forward? Because this business plan is like fuel that drives us further. It's like a compass direction that leads us into our destinies. I have a vision, I have my goals that I want to implement, but I do not have the ability to implement them all at once. But what will I do? I will have to make sure that I have a business plan that is going to drive me throughout my journey, my whole process, or my whole journey until I reach where I want to be. So in this video, guys, I want us to go into into details of how to make a well-articulated business plan for your business, whatever business that you want to be doing. But this channel is for smart farming, or it's for farming and agriculture at large. So whatever I'm going to be doing, it's for agriculture, of course, but you can use the same tips to make your own business plan, whatever business that you want to make. Now guys, as I told you that our business plan, in business plan, there are so many factors that we have to consider. But remember that business plan is a compass direction. Compass. What do I mean by compass? Compass directions, we all know. East, west, south, north. North, east, west, south. So the compass direction is what, dictates where you are supposed to go. It shows you the direction that you need to take. Now, it is the same as business plan. It helps us, to know the direction that we are going to move in whatever we are going to do. So, in this video, we want to go into full detail about that. Now, having known that a business plan is the fuel that drives us, what are the factors that are we supposed to consider when making a well-articulated business plan? Point number one, we have to consider location of the business. Location. That is point number one. Location is very important. Before starting up anything in life, whatever, before starting up, you have to consider location. You have to know which location you are going to set up your business, because you cannot start it from anywhere. Yes, not anywhere. You have to consider location. And in location, we consider very many, factors when it comes to location. Point number one, we have to consider in location. In location, we consider transportation. Transportation. Now, for example, maybe you work in town and you work in Kampala, and you want to, you have a house maybe in Jinja. How would you be able to transport from Jinja to Kampala? What are the transport costs, fuel costs, all of that, we consider that. So, as a wise person or a clever person, I cannot have a shop in Kampala and I sleep in Jinja. I always consider the cost of production, the cost, the expenditure. It will cost me way much, to transport myself from Jinja to Kampala. So that means I will consider a nearby place within my area of locality or within Jinja than having a shop in Kampala. So you have to, choose your brain, guys. How can you start up something which is very far from your area of residence? So at the end of the day, you will fail. Why? Because you did not calculate all these things. So you have to consider transportation is very key. Point number two, we have to consider raw materials when it comes to location. Raw materials. What do I mean? You have to consider the distance to raw material. For example, you want to start up a farm. You want to start up a poultry farm. You have to consider where you are going to buy the feeds. So it is very important. If the distance is very far from your location, that means all your profits will be going into transporting these raw materials. So we consider that. when starting up our farms, because most people, you start farms very far, very deep in villages, far from raw materials, and at the end of that day, your cost of production is very high, and you are not making any profits at all because you did not calculate these things. Also, in location, we have to consider the distance to the market. Distance to market. Yes, it is also important. Why? Because at the end of the day, we are going to produce our produce, but we shall need it to transport them to the market. You see, a lot of farmers are crying because they lack transportation. They don't have market. Why? Because the distance to market is very, very far. So when you are starting up your business or your farm, make sure that the distance to market is always considered for. Yes, start up something when you know that my market is near to my area of location or where I want to start up my business. So that one is important. Point number one is location. Point number two, what we have to consider when we are making a business plan, we have to consider a name of the business. So guys, you cannot start up a business without a name. Why? Because a name is what we call a brand. This is a brand. So you will be known for what? If it's a farm, if it's a goat farm, they will know you that this is so and so goat farmer, whatever. It's a poultry farm. They will know you for poultry. So you have to have a name that that associates with or that relates to your produce. If it's a poultry farm, put poultry there on the name. Chirabo Poultry Farm, Lisa Poultry Farm, so and so poultry farm. Make sure that it's a name that the name matches with your produce. But most people, they get a name which is far different from what they produce. People will not know exactly what you are producing. If it's a goat farm, make sure that it ends with goat. It deals in goat. Make sure your main product is always on the name. If it's a vegetable farm, make sure that you put there vegetables. Why? Because our brand name are the one that sells us to the public or to the market. And whenever people hear it's a poultry farm, that means whenever they come, whenever they have a need of poultry produce or products, they always come to you because they have your name. That means the name will always sell you out to people and you get clients. So brand is very important. Point number 3 to consider when writing our business plan, we have to consider what we call market analysis. Market analysis. So market analysis is very, very important. Why? Because you start up your business and actually you don't know what your people want or what the clients want. So in market analysis, here we want to know the tastes and preferences. Yes, remember this business, you are not starting it for your own self. You are aiming at market, aiming at profits, making profits. But most people, you just start up something because of love, passion, whatever. Also, okay, we need passion, but we don't need emotions, because most people, you are just too emotional. Yes, I have so many people who come into my inbox, they want to be in piggery, they want to do goats, whatever. But for me, what I tell you always, first make sure that you analyze the market before you start up, that business. Why? Because for you are driven by emotions, passion, and love. But in business, we are not driven by emotions. Emotions do not work in business. Why? For me, when I start up something, I always consider what is the tastes and preferences of my clients or the people in that area where I want to put a business. If they don't want local chicken in that area, of course, I will just follow the tastes and preferences of that area. So in business, we do not consider emotions. Emotions do not really work. Because you want to start up a broiler farm, it's your emotion. But consider, in my location, will it work? Because it may be a village setup and people do not eat broilers in that area. So that means, yes, because for you are driven by emotions of passion and love and fearing towards broilers, and you don't listen to people, to experts. You just go into broilers, and at the end of the day, you will not make any profit. and you will cry and regret, starting up this business. Yet it's a lucrative business and profitable as long as you follow what you are supposed to do. The problem, you guys, you don't want to follow our advices. We have been in this field for a long period of time, and what we tell you always will help you. So listen to experts, and there you will thrive. But if you want to do your own things, it's okay, guys. You will crash and cry, but we don't want you to cry at the end of the day. We want you to, to testify that we helped you in one or the other. That's what, make us happy. So do not follow your emotions. Make sure that you follow what people want. It's a client. That's why we go into client and ask them, what do you really want? We don't want to produce things because we love them. No, we want to consider what the market really wants, because at the end of the day, it is the market that is going to come and buy from us, not us to buy from ourselves. No. So we have to consider taste and preferences of our clients, not our own preferences. You sell clothes, but you just bring the fashions that you feel you want. You guys, at the end of the day, you will not make profits. Why? Because for you, your beliefs tells you that do not bring miniskirt, do not bring what the market wants miniskirt. For you, you just have these emotions of emotions of feeling and passion. It's not good, but the market wants that. What are you supposed to do? That means if you don't bring what the market wants, you will close. Other people who brings what the market wants will thrive. So make sure you are not driven by emotions when making what we call market analysis. What do I mean? Do not start something that you really want you by yourself. No, because you are not your own market. Make sure you start up something that is needed by the market in that area of locality or in your location where you want to start your business. Another point to look when we are building or when we are making our business plan, we have to make sure that we consider financial projection. Yes. So in financial projection, what do I mean by financial projection? Financial projection is all about finances. So you have to check yourself. You have to ask yourself questions like, how much money do I have right now? If it's 5 million, just you have to make sure that you do things which fall into that amount of money that you have, the exact capital that you have. So in financial projection, we have capital at hand. That means I will not do things which are beyond my capital, because most people, you want to go into 1,000 birds, yet the money you have can only sustain you with only 200 birds. So make sure that you go into something depending on your capital. It is your capital that pushes you where you can go or where you can start from. If your capital is limited, please never do something that is beyond your capital. Why? Because at the end of the day, you are going to fail and you cry and you regret. But we don't want you to regret. Make sure you do something that lies in your capital. Never do something that is beyond your understanding, okay? So you have to start with what we call baby steps, and you move towards success. Yes, even a child cannot start by walking. He will start by falling, whatever. So we have a lot of proverbs in Uganda, whatever, meaning you start from, we have to follow the protocols. But most people do not want to follow the protocols. Any business must start small. If you want to gain experience and if you want to be in this field for a long period of time, you have to start small. Why? If you're starting small, you gain experience, and it's experience that matters when it comes to business. So experience is the best teacher. So someone who have managed to handle 100 chicks, that means he can be able to handle 1,000 chicks. But if you start from 1,000, that means if you fall, you will fall at once and you will not come back again. So also in financial projection, we have what we call capital at hand. Also, we have in financial projection, after knowing our capital, we have to calculate how much income are we expecting. Yeah, it's very important to know that I'm starting with 500 baht, but how much am I expecting in my 500? Sit down and calculate. And if you don't reach that goal, that means you have done something wrong. So it will help you to always evaluate yourself. I have seen so many people who don't actually evaluate themselves, but it's very dangerous. You have to make sure that you evaluate yourself at the end of the month. Evaluate. Check yourself where you have gone wrong and correct those mistakes, because if you don't correct those mistakes, that means they will keep on coming back. But if you sit down and evaluate yourself and know how you have really done, that means it will help you, because all these we know them through financial projection, that how much money will I make in this period of time, and if I don't make them, what is the problem? That means I'll ask myself, what is the problem? But you will not know the exact problem if you did not have them in your financial projection. Yes, because at the end of the day, you don't know how much money you expect from 500 at the end of the day. You don't know. So how will you be able to know the exact problems that that made you fail to get that amount of money you are supposed to get? So from capital we have income, expected income, we expected. Yes, we have to know the income that we expect in our business even before starting. Yes. So after knowing the income, then we have to know our profits. Yes, I have to know how much profit am I going to make in this business. If at all I give it my whole heart, if at all I give it my full attention and focus, how much am I supposed to get as profits? It's very important. So how do we get the profits? We subtract from income, the income expected minus capital. So that is how we shall know the profits that we will be getting. So that is financial projection. So point number 5, and that is our last but not the least. So point number 5, when we are writing a well-articulated business plan, we have to consider growth. Yes, growth. What do I mean by growth? Most people don't know that they have to grow. So as I told you, when you are starting up a business, for you must have what we call vision and goals of life. So in growth we have what we call goals. Goal setting. You have to set up your goals and also have a vision, or call it say a vision. You have to see far beyond, because most people, what I discovered, they are just mediocres. They like to be on a small ground, to be just mediocres in life. They don't have a vision. They don't expect to grow in life. For them it's just getting to it is just food at mouth. Food at mouth cannot make you to grow. But you have to be with a wider view of your business. Even if you start it small, as you say, that from baby steps, but have a very big, big vision for your farm or for your goal. If you start with 500, make sure that at least you have a well-articulated goal that I need 10,000 in this period of time. So in growth, we have to know the number of birds that we need, or our business we want to grow to which extent. That is why we have to put growth. I want 10,000. Okay, if I want 10,000 capacity, that means I will make sure that I set up my goals and I set up the pace that I'm going to move on. That I will start with 500. Okay, then after 1 year I will progress to 2,000. Another year I will progress to 3,000. Another year I progress to 5,000. So in a period of 5 years, I should have been reached. So I should have reached this capacity. So that's how growth occurs in business. But most people do not have growth. Why? They always on standard growth. Why? Because they do not have growth. They don't have vision and goal settings for their businesses. And at the end of the day, you will be stunted. Your business will fail completely. So I will also teach you why most farmers fail in life. Yes, I am going to make a video for that, and I teach you. I have 31 points that I made, well articulated points that the research that I have done. I came up with 31 points why farmers fail. So do not miss out that video. I will make it very soon in this week. So you will know why most farmers do not actually become successful, why they fail. They lack vision. Vision is very important. Vision. What is vision? Vision is something that is intangible. But for you see, like a vision bearer sees what others do not see. So, and you know, it's what drives us. We always walk towards our vision. We walk towards fulfilling our visions in life. So guys, that is for today. We were discussing about how to make a well-articulated business plan. See you in my next video. So if it's your first time, guys, to be on this channel, please consider subscribing. Give my video a thumbs up nail and also share to others who would wish to have this great information.